Hey guys, it's Christine with Indigo Wings. I'm here to do the weekly twin flame reading for, I believe, April 3rd through April 10th. So I am just going to pre-warn you guys that I have a house full of children, not all mine. I don't know how they all ended up here, but it's a really nice day. They're all very happy and excited and rambunctious, and they're just wild today. And so I am accepting the fact that there are probably going to be children yelling, playing, fighting in the background of this video, and there is just nothing I can do about it. I've tried sending them outside a million times today, and they're in and out of the house, and so I have decided that is a battle I am not going to fight any longer, so I can just get this done. And I'm hoping to not make this a long one, because we are celebrating my little one's 5th birthday today, and we have some company coming over shortly, and I need to get out and help make food and set up and deal with all of the children that are running around my house right now. So Venus retrograde readings are currently still up on my website. So those are the readings that are just like the layout that I'm doing for the weekly twin flame readings, but they're focused on the period of Venus retrograde. Going through April 15th, they can even kind of extend as far as May 18th, because that's when the shadow period is ending. They will be taken down off the website sometime this week. So if you have been thinking that you wanted one of these readings, grab it now while it's still there. I don't know for sure when it's going to be taken down. Basically whenever myself or my website guy take it down. So you might have another day or 2 or 3 to order that, because Venus retrograde is going to end on April 15th, so I don't want to be offering that for too much longer. That's mostly it for updates. I'm still working on changing my website, so that's not ready yet. So I don't really have any updates on that. So, and I'll do all of the ways that you can contact me and get a hold of me and all that fun jazz at the end of the reading. So I'm going to just get started. Oh, well, I do want to say one thing. Before I laid out the cards, I ask for messages that are most needed to be heard by the collective, and I ask that as many people as possible are able to receive a message. So with that said, if what I'm saying does not resonate with you, then this is not the message for you. Don't worry about it. Move on. It's okay. If it feels like you resonate with what I'm saying, some people feel like I'm talking directly to them, then I may be the reader for you, and you may want to consider getting a reading with me. Right now, my turnaround time is like 5 to 7 days. I'm hoping to shorten that a little bit in the next week or so, but that's what it's looking like right now. So I am going to start on this side, which is the masculine side. This side's the feminine side. And as you guys have heard me say before, these are just the energies of each twin. Females can embody the masculine energy. Males can embody the feminine energy. And these readings can also apply to same-sex couples as well. I just use masculine and feminine because all twin flame couples, there is a dominant masculine energy and a dominant feminine energy until you balance those energies and you come together. And then I just refer to masculine and feminine and he, she as I go through the reading because it's just easier for me to keep track of. So with the cards that came up this week, this is an interesting reading. And I kind of sat with it for a few minutes because I wasn't entirely sure how I wanted to go about sharing it with you because I don't want people to get too excited. But I feel like this is mirroring a lot of what other readers are saying. Like this is this is a very similar message to what I'm seeing out there from other people. So some of you may be experiencing this already. Some of you may be going through this very soon. I do put the weekly date on these readings, but it doesn't mean that there's a set time that this is going to take place. You could be watching this 6 months from now, and it applies to you then. You see these messages at the time that is most appropriate for you. So the first card that I pulled for the masculine twin is Manifest. And so, it's a 1 for new beginnings, and I'm feeling like there's definitely that vibe of being ready to take a new step forward in a new direction, wanting those new beginnings. And the Manifest is, literally, they are in a point in their life where they have the ability, they have what they need, they have the tools, they have the resources to manifest the life that they desire. Do they realize it? Some of them I don't think realize it. But for some of them, they are manifesting their desires because they're in the right mindset. They are thinking about things in the right way, and they don't realize that the things that are coming to them because they're manifesting it, because this is their divine path. And the clarifying cards that I used and that I pulled today, I used Doreen Virtue's Romance Angels deck, which I think that this might be the first time I've ever used that deck in these readings. I tend not to because I don't want to say it's a fluffy deck, but I just haven't felt called to use them until today. And then I'm using the Angel Tarot deck as clarifiers. So the clarifying cards that I pulled here are This Could Be the One. And so, his thoughts, he is manifesting, he's thinking about, see, I got a kid crying. He is thinking about his feminine twin, and I don't even think that he's thinking of it, maybe this is the one for me. He is saying this, I know that this person is the right one for me. This is the one for me. The next card is the Lovers. So, this is the ultimate card in the tarot deck about, intimate decisions and, kind of like a coming together, a union. So he is really very sure of his thoughts of what this person is to him. And then the final clarifier is the Magician, which is the same card as Manifest. So, it's like double the meaning. You know, it's new. He wants a fresh start. He wants a new beginning. He wants to start a new chapter with this person that he knows is that one for him. And the next card that I pulled for the masculine is the love card, which is for this deck, which is the John Holland Psychic Tarot for the Heart deck. Love is the equivalent to the Lover's card. So this is what he's moving into. And, you know, 6 is a card of partnership and cooperation. You know, this, for me, what I'm seeing with this card, it feels very balanced. You know, like he feels like his feminine counterpart balances him out. You know, if you see how they're, you know, holding hands and both leaning back, you know, one isn't pulling more on the other. It's like, you know, a nice balance together, and love is blooming between them. And, you know, this is a card of union. And for once, I'm going to say that this is not the masculine twin coming into union with himself. I do believe that this is his desire to be with his feminine twin. And the clarifying cards that I pulled here are romantic feelings. And this card is about, you know, this card confirms that his feelings are real and that they're worth exploring. You know, so he's thinking to himself, you know, this is the one that I want, and I know that my feelings are real, you know, because I do feel that for a very long time they've been fighting these feelings. They've been feeling like they're crazy, making things up. It's been, you know, they've maybe felt like this was just an illusion. And they're saying, you know, no, this is real, and I want to figure this out. I want to learn more. I want to explore these feelings. And the other card that I pulled here is the 3 of Fire, and this is a card, you know, of things looking very good. This is a card of abundance, but this is a card of needing to have patience, that it's not the right time yet for things to come together the way that you want them to come together. But, you know, go ahead and make long-term plans, because they're coming for, you know, those plans are going to come into fruition for you. This card is also, you know, to me, a card of partnership, because you have a girl who's sitting and she's looking over a valley, and the dragon is supposed to represent her best friend. And I feel like not only is he her best friend, but he's also her protector. And I feel like these are some of the feelings that the masculine has for the feminine, you know, and for their situation. And, you know, he's okay with having to just sit on the hill overlooking the valley with her, not being able to take a step on their journey together quite yet. You know, but he feels like she is his best friend. He feels like he wants to be that protector of her. You know, and he does feel like, you know, I can sit here next to you and just look out for you, and you know, just be in the love I can be patient and wait for the time that is right. But I feel like where this card is, I feel like there will be many masculine twins reaching out and actually having a conversation of some sort, whether it's a text message, whether it's a phone call, whether it's in person. For some, it might be, a spiritual conversation in 5D, if that's how you communicate right now. But that they're going to somehow communicate their feelings and their emotions, which is going to be like kind of mind-blowing for the feminine, because that's going to be something they're not used to. They're going to be like, whoa, who are you? What did you do with my twin? So I'm going to, sorry, I'm just like all the bumps and the yelling. I warned you before I started. So I'm going to go back over to the feminine side. The card that I pulled here is balance. And so the first thing I noticed when I pulled this card out is that it's a 14, which breaks down to a 5. So 5 being a number of change and transitions. And the actual meaning of this card, it's more about, being aware of the give and take in a relationship. And this is also a card of renewal. And I do feel like the feminine is in this interesting state where she has a desire to experience a much more balanced giving and receiving of energies between her and her twin. In most cases, the feminine energy is giving more than what they are receiving. They are catering more to the wants and the needs of the masculine than the masculine is to them. And for some of them, they're really wanting to work on evening that out. And for some of them, they're wanting to have some sort of conversation about that, bring that up a little bit. And what's going to happen for some is this manifesting this, I don't know if I want to call it an epiphany, because I think it is something that the masculine has known for quite some time, but maybe this little aha moment or shift in the masculine's thinking is going to put them in this position of being able to renew I don't want to say renew their relationship, but that I do see that happening for many, but kind of like a starting over point, like let's clear the decks and start again. Let's be balanced in how we're approaching this relationship. The feminine is like hypersensitive right now to the energy and effort that she's putting forth. And I don't want to say that there's resentment. That's not quite what it is, but there's concern, cautiousness. She's been hurt before, and she just doesn't want to she doesn't want to keep playing out the same cycle over and over again. So I feel like there's a lot going on with the feminine right now, a lot on her mind with this balance card. And there's a lot, I feel like, with the clarifiers. So I think one of the things that might be throwing the feminine a little bit with everything that I just said, and it's going to be because of what's going on over here with the masculine, is reconciliation. So someone from her past is going to be coming back into her life. And I do think for many of you, it's your twin. And so for those of you who are already in a good place with your twin and everything's hunky-dory and you're 2 seconds away from union, this is probably not the message for you. This is probably more of a message for people who are either in separation or just coming out of separation, or have just kind of been like a back and forth, unsure of what's going on. He's going to be wanting to have some sort of reconciliation, and that's where I'm getting this renewal as well. The next card I pulled up here is the Four of Water. And, the Four of Water is a very emotional card, and I'm really, this is going to be an emotional thing for the feminine, because they are unsure. They want to trust. They want to move forward. They want this, but they are very cautious. They're not sure how it's gonna look. They're very unsure. They really need to balance their emotions. And with this Four of Water, they need to be careful that they're not going to miss any opportunities, because they refuse to open their eyes to the possibilities of what could be. What happens on the side of the masculine may not look the way you have expected it to. And you have to have an open mind, because remember that the plans that we've made before we ever got here are much better than anything that we can ever come up with now. And so if we keep our minds open to what is possible, we are much more allowing for things to come to us. And then the other card that I pulled here is the Sun, which is a very positive card about success and happy outcomes. And this is a card about the need to have confidence in yourself, because everything is going to work out. This card is also a 19, which breaks down to a 1, new beginnings, which is along the lines of the energy of where the masculine twin is at this point in the reading. So the next card that came up for the feminine, there were 2 cards that came out, and I thought that these were really cool given the cards that were on the masculine side. The cards were Love Abounds, which is a 1, and then Just Breathe, which is a 4. So a 1 for new beginnings, that renewal of the relationship, and then a 4. For me, this is stability. And what I'm really seeing happening here is that, that there is something takes place here between the masculine and the feminine. And for many of you, I do feel like it is a communication that has been needed. I don't know if you heard that, but that was like my shelf shook from the bounce or the boom. Anyways, so the clarifying card that I pulled here is heart-to-heart conversations, and I know that so many of the feminine have been needing that, and you need to keep an open mind, because it might not be exactly the way you pictured it to be. Some of the masculine twins are not very wordy. They don't say a lot, but when they do say something, it's usually pretty powerful. So, be open-minded to what it is that they're saying, not how much of it that they're saying, because that can still be a heart-to-heart conversation. And the other card that I pulled up here is the Knight of Water. Now, the Knight of Water, and that kind of pulled the Love Abounds and the Just Breathe together for me. The Knight of Water is a very fast-moving energy. The Knight of Water sweeps us off our feet, very romantic. It's like what everybody wants, like the romance, the charm. They know exactly what to say to you, and you can get very carried away emotionally with the Knight of Water. So you need to exercise caution. And I feel like that is a little bit what happens here with the feminine. You have this time where love abounds, and you have these heart-to-heart conversations, and you are just swept off your feet. But then you get your wits about you, and you're like, hold up. I need to be balanced in my emotions. I need to take a second, and I need to breathe. I need to go within. I need to center myself. Do not get carried away right now, because it's not time yet for us to come together the way I think that we should. It's like everything is going to be going the way she wants it to go, but then she's going to be like, whoa, hold up. And it's not going to be in a negative way, but it's just going to be like, I need a breather. I need a second. I don't want to get carried away with this. I don't want to, I can't think of the word that I want to use, is escaping me right now, but she doesn't want to revert back to her old habits of clinginess. She wants to stay balanced within herself, and she wants to stay in that place of self-love, and just keep that detachment. Just all the hard work she's been doing, she wants to not lose that in the instant that her twin comes back to her, and they have the first of many conversations. So I'm going to go over to the masculine side again. The card that comes up for him here is Spread Your Wings. Now this is a 2, which 2 is a number partnership. Some will even say 2 is a number of union. I'll let you, if that resonates with you or not. But for this card, I see the masculine, moving into a place where they feel like they're on the right path. I feel like many of them for quite a while have felt lost, and like they just don't know who they are. They don't know what they're doing. They've felt stuck in a lot of ways. And on this card, they're literally on a path, and if you see the light at the end of it, they can see the light at the end of the path. There's a star on the path. It's like they know that this is their spiritual path. They know that this is the path that they're supposed to be on. And they have their arms outstretched with the light shining down on them. They know that, it's like they know deep down that things are going to work out. And it's like, the spread your wings is also, to me, a card of, this is your time. This is a big time for you, for growth, to explore, because many of these masculine twins are just now waking up. And so, a lot of the feminine have already had that opportunity. And so this is a new opportunity for them. And it can be scary, it can be hard, but for some, this is a really big achievement. So the clarifying cards I pulled here are give your relationship a chance, which is about working on your partnership. And so, he's definitely being guided to work on, keeping this connection going, even though you may not be able to be together in the physical right now. He knows that, you need to work on it in order for it to keep going, in order for it to stay strong, in order to keep that foundation strong. And the next card I pulled is the Ace of Air, so the Ace for new beginnings. And it's the Ace of Air is, it's about seeing the truth of a situation. And again, he's seeing, this is what he's meant to be doing. This is part of his path. And he's seeing the truth of that. And he's seeing the truth of where he's been going. And he's getting clarity about all of it. But the Ace of Air is also about, this can be a challenging beginning, which I can see that being the case for them, because, just because they know that they're on the right path towards their feminine twin, it doesn't mean that all the other stuff that's going on in their life just goes away. And so the other card that I pulled was the Two of Earth. And so the Two of Earth is all about, there's just so much going on in their lives that, they're overwhelmed. And, I'm getting the feeling that they may, I don't want to say lash out, but they may not always communicate in the best way possible. This card is talking about, trying to take a more playful approach versus being stressed out and grumpy and overwhelmed. This card also talks about the need for making a decision. And so, I've touched on it before, but this is continuing to happen for many of the masculine twins. It's going to continue to happen for many of these twins. They're going to be continued to be put in positions where they are going to be made uncomfortable until they make the changes that they need to make. They need to make decisions about their life that they're putting off because they're scared. And so over on the feminine side, the card that came up here is Healing Begins. So this is a 6, so this is a card of partnership, cooperation, teamwork, which I think goes really nicely with that, work on your partnership. And, some of you might be looking at this like Healing Begins and be like, how much more healing does the feminine need to go through? Well, healing is not something that we really ever stop going through. We're always going to be healing. We're always going to be improving. And so everything that she's going through is just going to help improve yourself. Continuing to help you heal the things within you that need to be healed. For one, I think that this is going to be helping to continue to heal your heart center. The clarifying cards that I'm getting here are calling in your soulmate. So the feminine, and I don't think this is any surprise. I feel like you both are going to be, you're calling, like you're attracted to each other, you're bringing each other together because you are focused on it. You're calling each other in, you're manifesting each other, your energies are attracting each other. So that doesn't really surprise me, and especially as, for the feminine, the more you heal yourself and raise your vibration, the more your twin is going to be attracted to you. So then we have the Knight of Air and the Page of Air. And so the Knight of Air is one of the fastest moving energies in the tarot. And, oftentimes this card represents the need to make a decision, but you don't have time to make a decision. So you need to make sure that you are really using, you're thinking about things logically versus using just emotions to think about things. And then the Page of Air. The Page of Air is about, pages are messengers. And the Page of Air is often about a message that is not delivered in the best way possible. And so when I'm feeling, I feel like there might be some sort of communication between the masculine and feminine that the feminine is not happy about. And it's not so much because of the actual message. Perhaps it's talking about, hey, we're not going to be able to get together sooner. It's going to be sooner it's going to be later rather than sooner, or we got to push things back or whatever. It's going to be the way it was delivered. And so what the feminine's going to have to work on, and I feel like this relates to the healing, is separating the message from the delivery and from who delivered it. There's a chance it may not come from the masculine. It could just be about the masculine, but this is going to be an opportunity for the feminine to heal and to, work on some triggers, because whatever this is, it might be something she really needs to hear, and she actually might agree with it. She might grow from it. She might learn something from it. Don't be blind to whatever the message is because you don't like the way something was said or who said it. So that's something really important to keep in mind moving forward with that. So the underlying energy for the feminine is dreams coming true. So this is going to be what's important for you to remember. And I feel like this is so true for this reading. Your dreams are coming true. Despite some of the areas where you may feel challenged, things are happening the way you've been they're happening the way you want them to happen. Your prayers are being answered. And the clarifier I pulled here is the Star, which just confirms you are on the right path, that positive, happy changes are coming. This is a card about happy times. The underlying energy for the masculine twin is seek the truth. And this card's a 7, which also indicates that you're on, being on the spiritual path. And I feel like he, seek the truth. Again, he wants to get to the truth of his feelings and get to the truth of his situation with the feminine. The clarifier that I pulled is getting to know each other. And, and I feel like that's part of how the seeking the truth happens, as you get to know each other more, as you reveal things about yourselves, your bond is going to deepen. And then the 8 of Earth. And the 8 of Earth is learning all you can about a topic. So those all fit pretty nicely. The underlying energy or the grounding energy that both twins are bringing to this reading is win or lose. Now this is a 5, so again, transitions, changes, and I'm definitely seeing there, I feel like we're really coming up on a time of changes. Things are going to be changing for sure. But win or lose, well, I'll tell you the clarifying cards first. The clarifying cards that I pulled up here are the 4 of Earth and then love yourself first. And what I really am getting with the win or lose, that both the masculine and the feminine need to balance. They need to balance their emotions. They need to balance their energies. And the best way that you can do that is to focus on self-love. Love yourself first, and the rest is going to come together. I promise. If you truly love yourself first, everything else is going to come together, and you will be able to balance those emotions. So, there's definitely, some unbalance that is, at the underlying this reading. Now, the final card here that I pulled is challenging times. And I really feel, this is the crowning energy, the energy that both are coming into. And again, it's a 5. Changes are coming. And I really feel like this means that, there are shifts that are taking place within these relationships. With the challenging times, what I really feel like is happening is both twins are holding back. They're not fully being open with each other. They're holding their emotions back. The feminine, because she's been hurt so many times. The masculine, I think, because there's some fear, maybe around feeling not good enough for the feminine. Maybe that he'll be rejected, that it won't work out. But they're holding back. They are masking some of their emotions. So it's not so much that the feminine and masculine are going to be having these really difficult times together. It's that they need to drop the walls around their hearts and let each other in. The clarifying cards are chemistry. So this just confirms that, there's a strong magnetic pull here between both twins. So it's not about the pull not being there or anything like that. And then the 6 of Water came up. And this is another confirmation that they're being held back. The emotion, the water, the suit of water is very emotional. And that, memories from their past are holding them back. So you need to heal those memories, heal the things that are holding you back so that you can move forward together and be truthful, be honest, be fully present and emotional with each other. Now, I pulled a new, this isn't a new deck, but I have never used it in these readings before, but I thought it would be a nice change. And it looks like I'm going to go long, as I always do on these videos. I can't help it. So this deck is the Crystal Mandala Oracle by Alana Fairchild. I'm not going to read the entire description of this card because it is over 3 pages long. She has very long descriptions of her cards, so I just am going to be reading 2 paragraphs that I thought were pertinent to what I was going to be talking about. So the card that I pulled is 36, which is a 9, which, end of a cycle, end of a situation. And it is relief and repair. And this says, we bring you the blessing of relief and repair. Our warmth and nurturing will restore and rebalance your body, mind, and soul when the light of spirit burns too brightly. Spiritual light is like the light of the sun. It brings life and joy, but too much can burn. If that happens to you, you will feel overwhelmed, overheated, overexcited, or overstretched mentally, physically, or emotionally. We will help you recover and increase your ability to be exposed to spiritual light again in the future without becoming overloaded or burnt out. We ask you to soften and relax into our rich red energy now, which nurtures you with the cooling, restorative life force of the Earth Mother. We shall help you naturally discharge excess energy while we revive, strengthen, and fortify you with our nourishing grace. This oracle also indicates that any situation that may appear to be never-ending is not so, and any brokenness of heart or will, defeat, or apparent failure can and will be resolved and restored through the hand of her radiant grace. She will bestow her blessing of relief and repair upon you and your life situation. Allow her grace to resolve your life circumstances as she sees fit, so you can be revived by her rich, warm life force. When the Divine Mother turns her attention to a matter, there is no such thing as a lost cause or inevitable defeat. Her ways are many and her resources great. When she decides to animate something that may have otherwise seemed devoid of life, her power is that of the phoenix, rising again after all has seemed lost. Allow her to serve your body, mind, and spirit in the way that best serves you now. Surrender into her tender, loving care. So, even though, that it wasn't a relationship message like the oracles I've been sharing with you recently, I thought that this was a really nice message because I think that so many people, especially the ones who are watching my videos, are tired. And there is a lot of spiritual growth happening. So that's part of it. But then part of it is because of your personal situations. So take that message and apply it in whatever way you feel like it fits to you. And I hope that you find it helpful. So, and, I hope that you guys enjoyed the rest of this reading. I'm really interested to see what the next week says. I hope that I'll be hearing good things from you guys about what happened for you this week. So for those of you who are interested in getting a personal reading or Reiki healing with me, check out my website, indigowingshealing.com, or you can send me an email, indigowingshealing@gmail.com. You can also find me on Facebook, facebook.com/indigowingshealing, and I also have a group, which is Indigo Wings Soul Connections. And I think that that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please click like and subscribe so that you are among the first to see my videos as soon as I post them to YouTube. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I'll talk to you soon.